Is this mic working? Because it's the first time I'm using it, so let me know in the chat. Is it working? There's 1,000 people here already. Probably 500 Chelsea fans. Since I've been in Matisse's streams for the last fucking week or so. So... do I laugh? Do I cry? Do I shout? Do I scream? I'm not too surprised. I'm surprised, but I'm not too surprised. When everyone on the Big Six kept on asking, on Big Six extra cams, are you in a title race? Is the audio bless? Yes, bless. And everyone was asking me, are we in a title race? And I said February. I said February for a reason. And I know I was on Matisse's stream earlier. And I'm going to say a bit of the same, a bit more. But when people are asking me, are you in a title race? I can't say if Arsenal are in a title race till I see what happens in January. We all know we had a thin squad. We all know we needed reinforcements. So I said February. Ask me again in February. I'll know a bit more about us and what we want out of this season. And yeah, I think slowly but surely our questions are being answered. Now, don't get me wrong. We could turn around and go buy someone else. But I don't think Arteta wanted someone else. I really don't. I think Arteta wanted Mudryk. And again, I've said this a few times over the last week, month, maybe past 4 or 5. I trust Arteta a lot more now than I ever have. And rightly so. He's done a lot of good things in the past 18, 24 months. A lot of good things. In regards to transfers, I mean, he's pulled a lot out the bag. I have a team that I like and that was refreshing compared to the years that have gone by. Let me save these super chats before I miss them. So I thought to myself, listen, I don't know much about Mudryk. So I'll do a bit of research. I'm not really a YouTube merchant. Clips and that, compilations and that, it's all nice. It's cute. It's cute, but it's not the reality. You know, every player can have a great comp on YouTube. Every player can have great clips. But I just thought if Arteta wants him, then I want him. When Arteta went for Ben White, I was like, what is this guy doing? A year and a half later, I hold my hands up. Great signing for Arsenal. Doing a wonderful job. When Arteta wanted Ramsdale, I thought to myself, what is this guy doing? A year and a half later, a little echo. It's because this fucking iPad's on, man. Let me turn this iPad off. You know what? Fuck it. Let me leave this. Where are we? Leave studio, fam. Alright, cool. Is the echo gone? If the echo's gone, let me know. Because it should be gone. If it's not gone, then I'm just going to rip this mic out of its socket and just throw it across the room because I've got no patience right now. I didn't expect to be doing one of these videos. It's been a little while since I've done a solo video. Don't worry, people. I'm saving the super chat, so I will be getting through them. But I just want to talk. I just want to talk for a few minutes. Maybe a bit more than a few minutes, but yeah, where was I? When Arteta signed Ramsdale, what is this guy doing? A year and a half later? Cool. I get it. Hands up. Good addition. Why not? So recently I've turned around, I've apologized for maybe my overreaction sometimes over the last couple of years. I held my hands up. I said, all right, cool. Arteta's doing his thing. We're top of the league. We got a thin squad. Ahead of schedule. Ahead of schedule. What fucking schedule? But yeah, I just want people to know This has nothing to do with Arteta. None of this is on Mykhaylo Arteta. No echo? Cool. We move. Love for the love, people. Hit the like button, because I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to tell you guys to hit the like button again in this video, because as I go in, as I answer super chats, I'm sure it's due to get a bit more heated. I'm trying to remain calm. Because like I said, Mudryk is not exactly a player that I knew a lot about. But look at the hype. Since November, this guy's been twerking for us. Since November, this guy's his arms have been open. His arms have been open. People are telling me to put on slow mode. I think slow mode is on. It's just mad in the dunya right now. I don't think slow mode can slow down what's going on. Oh, I'm wrong. Slow mode wasn't on. All right, let's put 45 seconds on slow mode. Cool. Mods, if you need to do your thing, do your thing. Don't forget, Big Six is on this channel, so there's a lot of opposition fans on this channel. And I don't really give a shit what they say, as long as it ain't over the top. If it's over the top, and you know what I mean by over the top, then get rid. But if they're laughing, if they're bantering, if they're taking the piss, just let them do it. I'm here for it. Why not? Other way around, I'd take the piss. I'll tell you that. If this was Chelsea chasing Mudryk from November, and a few hours ago Arsenal swooped in and got a deal done, I'd be in Matisse's stream right now, sending super chats, fucking about with the people in the chat. I'd be doing it myself, so let them be. But like I said, if you need to do it, you need to do it. We move. Sorry, people. Let me just save these super chats again. Like I said, none of this is on Arteta. That's the first thing I want to say. But it's so deflating. And it's the night before the North London derby. We've just seen Man City lose to United. And on one hand, that's a great thing for us. Manchester City are the closest rivals to us at the moment as we sit top of the league. On the other hand, United have entered the conversation. So it's a weird one. Don't really know how to feel about that. But after I see City lose, I thought, yeah, if we get the result we should get at Tottenham, 8 points. Worst case, 6 points. Picking up a draw. 2-game swing. Worst case, we're top of the league heading into February. And probably heading into that big Man City fixture, February 15th. Is it 15th? It's 15th. 15th, 14th, 16th. It doesn't really matter. I'm not here to talk about February. I'm here to talk about January. And we're 14 days in. But let's take it back. Let's take it back to November. November is when we first entered the conversation with Mudryk, I believe. That's when he really started, doing what he was doing. The interview with Zinchenko's wife. Big up Zinchenko as well, and big up his wife, because they tried. I wonder what they're thinking now. I wonder what Zinchenko's thinking. Because in October, November, he's telling us to stop talking about top four and start talking about the title. And I get him. Trust me, I get him. That's how it should be. We are Arsenal. We are the Arsenal. But we haven't been the Arsenal that I grew up on. So I wonder what he's thinking right now. Probably the same as us. We're not serious. And a lot of people, I can see, look, someone said it's money, bro. I've seen a lot of money talks on Twitter and on Instagram. No shit, Sherlock. No fucking shit. Money talks. Money's been talking for my whole life. Money's talked. That doesn't surprise me. That's not a reason. That's not an excuse. Money talks. Money talks. But yeah, November, Mudryk. interview. Gunners and all of this nonsense that was coming out of his mouth. Cool. He's interested. We're interested. Zinchenko and his wife, doing their part. It's looking good. It's looking good. We're not even in December yet. And a young, promising winger that we was somewhat linked to in the summer is flirting. We'll call it flirting at that stage because that's what it was. Early stages, flirting, maybe looking across the dance floor in the dance. He's at the bar. Arsenal's the other side. He's giving us the eye. Early stages. And as the weeks passed, it grew. He did more. He did more. He did more and he did more. And he just kept on going. He hasn't stopped. Up till 2 days ago, he was still putting things on his Insta story. The guy wanted to come to Arsenal Football Club. Now, I just want to stop people that say he chose Chelsea and use that as the narrative. Because I'm tired of people excusing this ownership, if I'm honest with you. I'm tired of it. I've seen very few people talk about the Kroenkes since this whole saga has spun on its head. I've seen very few. And I'm going to get a few comments now. What the fuck do the Kroenkes have to do with it? It's not them. They've released the funds. They've given us the money. Have they? Are you telling me 5-10 million difference has caused this whole deal to collapse? Collapse to the point where our London rivals, maybe not league rivals this season, but our London rivals have swooped in to grab him? I don't believe it. If Arteta wanted him, and it seemed like he really wanted him, 5-10 million is nothing. Then we'll have some people say 5-10 million on top of the 85 million we offered is something, Turkish. Well, 85 million is overspending anyway. So let's get onto that excuse and reason that I've been seeing. And don't worry, I'm going to get into the super chats because there's 19 there already. So I will get into them. This might be a long one. It might not be a long one. We'll see how it goes. Overspending. This youth's got 7 goals, 6 assists, or something like that. In 12 games, 13 games in the Ukrainian league. As I said on Matisse's stream earlier, anything more than 25 million for someone like this is overspending. Guess what? Our first bid was overspending. Our second bid was overspending. But what it showed me is Mykhaylo really wants this guy. Mykhaylo really wants this guy. And judging from where we are this season, and that's top of the league, great form, great style of football, great young players, a good energy around the club. Judging by all of that, it's the final few pieces of the jigsaw needed right now for Mykhaylo Arteta and Arsenal Football Club. The final few pieces of the jigsaw. So I thought to myself, 1 bid, 2 bids, high bids as well. We definitely want him. Mykhaylo Arteta definitely wants this guy. I don't really think there's a plan B. I think it's him or I'm just going to leave that there because I don't know. Or we can say Liao. We can say that guy from Napoli. We can say I'm seeing Zaha and Trossard's names come up. Imagine going from Mudryk, a young, promising talent, to Zaha or Trossard. I wouldn't be surprised. So don't get me wrong. In the next couple of weeks, if one of them joins the club, don't think I'm going to be surprised about that. You might be, but it'll be another typical Arsenal under Kroenke move. I just don't get it. Instead of us fans looking at the real reason behind not just this, but last January too. What happened there? People tend to forget what happened there, innit? But it is what it is. People tend to forget so much and erase so many bad memories that the Kroenkes have been a part of over the years, to the point where this season on Twitter, I've got people retweeting the protest, the Kroenke protest. And don't get me wrong, the clip is jokes. I can't even lie to you. In the context it's used in, and some of the comments and whatnot, it's funny. I like a good joke. I like a good joke. But people are really forgetting what these Kroenkes are about. So even when I apologized to Mykhaylo Arteta and I held my hands up and I said, you know what? I can see what you're doing. I'm behind you. I trust you. I'd get questions about the Kroenkes. When are you going to apologize to them? When are you going to apologize to the Kroenkes? I'm here to tell you now, 4.7k in the building. Let's just say 3k is Arsenal fans. I'm here to tell you, Arsenal fans, now I'm never apologizing to the Kroenkes. Never. If we win the league this year, that doesn't mean I was wrong about the last 15 years. It doesn't mean I was wrong about the last 3-4 years. There's evidence that makes it fact. These owners have shown little to no ambition over the years. And then you'll have some people now, screaming at their TV, screaming at their phone, their iPad, whatever they're watching this video on. They've spent a lot since they've become full owners. Yeah. They have. A lot more than we're used to. And spending is not the whole, it's not the whole thing. Because you see United, 200 million, 300 million, they go nowhere. You see Chelsea, 200 million, 300 million, they go nowhere. Well, they got a Champions League a couple of years ago, but in the big scheme of things, league, development, kicking on, they've gone nowhere with the money spent. So money is not the be-all and end-all. I'm not telling this ownership to go and spend 300 million every season. I wouldn't mind it, especially with the manager we have right now, considering his track record with signings over the last couple of years. Look at this Matisse guy. How the tables have turned, Matisse. How the tables have turned. Yeah, I'm not asking them to spend Chelsea money. I'm not asking them to spend United money, City money. What I'm asking them to do is, if this manager wants someone, and this is the manager that you've backed and you rightly stuck with through some of our worst periods of football, of results, then whoever he wants, get it done. Get it done. So if they want Mudryk, I don't know fuck all about the guy. I like what I see. I like what I hear. But I don't know much, But if Arteta wants him, go and get it done. Go and get it done. That's all I really ask for. That's all I really ask for. It's not much to ask for. I see someone saying, sorry, as I'm scrolling through the chat, it's, I'm just saving the super chats for later. We'll do the super chat section later. But I'm saying he's not worth 100 mil. Who the fuck is worth the fees that are paid these days? Who is worth it? Is Grealish worth 100 mil? There's no chance in hell Grealish is worth 100 mil. Is that Beyblade Anthony worth 95 mil or whatever they paid? There's no chance in hell he's worth that. But guess what? The club that owns the players that you want determine the value to them, and they'll probably also look at the value to you. And I don't mean value in pounds, euros, and all of that. I mean value in terms of addition to the squad, where you're headed, especially in January, being top of the league, being where we are with the squad we have, and thinking to themselves, they need him. So we might value him at 85 mil, but the way Arsenal need him, we're going to say 95 mil. Why not? And no hard feelings to Shakhtar. I get it. But this club just didn't want to do it. Sorry, if you see me just start laughing, people, it's because it's either I start crying or I start laughing. But don't get me wrong, we're top of the league. So, we are in a great position. We are in a great position. But when I'm talking about this in particular, it's not necessarily just this season I'm talking about. Last January showed me something. So far, this January is showing me something. And that something is, even if we get to a position where we can do something proper, I don't think these owners are really going to push the boat out and make it happen. Don't think, well, we can say no now, no. Maybe we wait another 16, 17 days and then say it. Or maybe we wait another 16, 17 days and then forget about it. Or maybe we do that, because a lot of people tend to do that. A lot of people tend to do that. Yes, we had a good summer, a proactive summer. Something I've been banging on for a while, proactive. Be proactive, go in with your targets, get your targets. And there's going to be some positions where there's no, I can't think of the word right now, but there's no conversation about a plan B. And there's going to be other positions where you need a plan B and a plan C, because you're not going to get your first target in every position when you don't have the Chelsea money or the City money or the United money. When you got that money, you can get who you want pretty much, unless you're United and De Jong and he ain't answering your calls and all that. But Arsenal ain't that club. We ain't got the money, and this ain't me throwing shade about that. It's just facts. It is facts. We haven't got that money, and I get that. There's not much we can do about that unless this ownership decides to sell, and even then, it depends on who they was to sell to. There's no point in talking about all of that. We haven't got that money. So cool. A couple positions, you have your key targets. Other positions, you have a list of targets. So summer, we had a good summer. Is Said in there as well? Said's in here as well. He must be buzzing today. A lot of chest on Thursday's Big Six, and he's come out with a W, a rare W for Said on the Big Six. I can't lie, it's been a little while since the chest hasn't turned into a Scarfuggery intro, but big up my guy, man. I got a lot of love for Said, man. But yeah, where was I? Summer. So all of that in the summer, very good, very positive, very good pre-season. I was out in Orlando. I see Aston sent a super chat earlier, so big up Aston. You know how well, first time we met. So a lot of people out in Orlando actually said, you know what, meeting you, we kind of took you different to what we see on the screen. And I get that. Because once you have a conversation with me, it's different to me either flipping about something after a game or being emotionally stretched about something Arsenal's done and doing a clip or video about it at the time. When you talk to me, I love this club. I've always loved this club. I'll never stop loving this club. But yeah, where was I? So Orlando pre-season, smashed it, done well. But it's just pre-season, but I was riding a wave. Big up the American fans out there. I'm sure there's a few more of you, not just Aston in the chat that I met. Big up you lot. It was, one of the best trips I've had. The love was mad. Love for the love. You know what it is already. I mean that. And then we moved on to the season. Started the season well. Palace away. Obviously, won all our games. I forget Leicester and whoever else it was. And then United comes, the first big test, and we don't do our thing. Cool. We bounce back against Brentford away, 3-0. We keep it moving. And then we just dropped 2 more points from then until the World Cup break, the Southampton draw. And like I said, on Twitter, you'll have people asking me about Kroenke and have I changed my mind on them and all of this. What? Does 5 months erase 15 years? To you, it might. To me, never. And you might not like me. And there's probably a few people here that don't like me in the chat and whatnot. There's a few people that I'll probably hear from Twitter that are part of that whole brigade that, want to jump on man's back when they're on a positivity wave and all of that nonsense. That's cool. You don't have to like me. So I assume you like Arteta. And Arteta said, we need to maximize every window to catch up to the Man Cities and Liverpools. We need to maximize every window. All right, it's laughable saying Liverpool now, but I'm talking about previously comments that were made. We've got to maximize every window. Arteta's words, not Turkish's words, Arteta's words. I'm fully behind it, something I've said before, but if you don't like me, you like him, listen to him, not me. It's all good. Maximize every window. And he also said, end of December, proactive is ideal. Sometimes it's not realistic, but it's ideal, which means he'd rather things be done proactively. But sometimes, due to the football market, the money that's involved, the negotiation, sometimes being proactive is not realistic. And I get that, trust me. You're not going to be proactive with everything, you know. But with the Mudryk transfer, and it all starting in November, one question I want to ask is, why was the first bid made in January? I wonder if anyone out there can answer that question for me. Why was the first bid made in January? Couldn't we have bid in November? So that bid could be rejected. And then we bid again in December. So that bid could be rejected. And then maybe we bid again in December. Because we've made 3 bids. Or we had made 3 bids, right? Up to 70 mil, up to 85 mil. Then the last one being up to, what was it? Up to 95 million euros, the last one. And that last one looked like it was going to get us over the line. That last one looked like it was going to get us over the line. But Chelsea, see what's happening. And they swoop in and add 5-10 mil on top. Add more wages for Mudryk. Yes, he wants to come to Arsenal, but hey, if we give you 100k more than they was offering you, if we give you 150k more than they was offering you, how does Chelsea sound now? Do you blame him? Because like I said, if we don't match that offer, if we don't match Chelsea's offer, Modric hasn't got a choice to make. Oh, he does, sorry. Mudryk has a choice to make, but Arsenal are not one of his choices. If we don't match that bid, his choices are, I go to Chelsea on nice money, London, probably not the most appealing club right now, but money, London, I can fuck with that. Or I stay at Shakhtar. And then I know a lot of people now are saying, he chose the money. If he rejected Chelsea, who's to say Shakhtar would have then turned around and accepted the lower offer from Arsenal? Who's to say they wouldn't just hold out and wait till the summer? Because then Shakhtar would have a choice. If Mudryk rejected Chelsea, Shakhtar's choices then become, do we accept Arsenal's offer of 5-10 million less? Or do we wait until the summer? Or wait until the end of January transfer window to see if Arsenal offer more? Either way, that's Shakhtar's choices. None of these choices for Mudryk today involved Arsenal. And then I've just seen something on Twitter. Take Twitter with a pinch of salt, people. Again, I don't know how many examples people need of taking it all with a pinch of salt. I don't care if you're Fabrizio Ornstein. I don't care if you're David Romano. I don't give a shit about all of these people. I don't care. Because 7 hours ago, it's a done deal, more or less. Arsenal, last bid, due to be accepted. Finally, the deal's about to be complete. And all of a sudden, these same men are tweeting, Chelsea flying in. Chelsea flying in to talk in Poland. Then again, to talk in Turkey. Where are these men? Poland or Turkey? What's going on? Where are they? Is one person in Poland and one person in Turkey? I don't get it. I don't understand. Curtis in the building. Where did Edu go on the plane? Oh, was he on a plane? I'm so detached from all of this stuff, especially the transfer window stuff, that I didn't even know Edu was on a plane anywhere. I didn't know. Cecil, if you're watching this, message your guy. Lee Judges, message your guy. Ask him where he is, because I don't think these men are in Poland. I don't think these men are in Poland. They're in Turkey. Someone said Fabrizio doesn't lie. I've seen multiple examples of maybe him not lying, but maybe him being used as the mouthpiece for bullshit. Fabrizio's an influencer now, a big influencer. He turned from an in the know to an influencer. Clubs can use Fabrizio Romano now. I'm sure he'll take the money. Yeah, tweet this for us. Hopefully it drives up the price a bit. Here, tweet this for us. Hopefully it gets other clubs involved. I don't give a shit. Fabrizio Romano, I don't care. David Ornstein, I don't care. Charles Watts, I care even less. Who else is there on this Twitterverse that people say tier one? Tier one. The AFC Bell that time, yeah, they got the Thomas Partey one. That's it. People put them as the messiahs of transfers. You throw enough shit at the ball, some of it's eventually gonna stick. Ben Jacobs, Ben Jacobs, that's the Leicester one, isn't it? That guy's profile kicked off when the Maddison and Tielemans to Arsenal stuff began. It really kicked off. Obviously, he's a Leicester guy. And I don't know how much he knows about Leicester. I'm just talking about Arsenal right now. I couldn't give a shit about Leicester's transfers and all of these things. But once you use Arsenal's name, once you link a player to Arsenal, if you're tier 1, if you're tier 2, fuck it. Sometimes if you're tier 17, click, retweet, quote tweet. Oh my God. And then these men just get a following, and all of a sudden, we've got another in the know. It's our fault. And I say because I'm an Arsenal fan. And a lot of you are Arsenal fans. So I say it's our fault. But if I delve into it, it's not my fault. I'm not a clicker. Are you a clicker? Do you click every fucking news article related to Arsenal that you see? Every transfer related to Arsenal that you see? If you do, then it's you. Big up you. You've made a lot of people football famous, I'll call it. I don't think people outside of football know who the fuck these people are. Ornstein, Romano, and Jacobs, and Watson. Who else are tier 1s and tier 2s? And just stop. And the thing is, we won't stop. Someone else will tweet tomorrow after Mudryk's failed Arsenal transfer. Edu plans to make bid for Leao. And that'll be the next one for 16 days. Click. Quote tweet. Retweet. Quote tweet. It's all a fucking game to these lot. It's all a fucking game. No, what did that person say? Caps lock. I just see something about a fence. This is why Turkish sits on the fence. Our owners ain't serious. All right, let's get into that. People, I've got a super chat saved. I don't think I've missed any. I've got a super chat 40. Fucking hell, how long am I gonna be here? It's 35 minutes. Don't worry. You know what? I'm here. Sitting on the fence. I try and be balanced. Big up Tobes though. Tobes done well with that sitting on the fence comment, because a lot of people have, attached themselves to that. But that comment there is right. The reason I'm balanced, or to you, the reason I've sat on a fence, is because as much as I can turn it around with Arteta, I hold my hands up and say, listen, I got it wrong. I'm glad the Kroenke stuck by him. Like I said, 99 times out of 100, they're bullshit. But that one time, because I challenge anyone else in the comment section, Arsenal fans. I challenge anyone else, aside from sticking with Mykhaylo Arteta during that rough patch. And to me, it's rough is saying it kindly. During that, I don't even want to just use the words I want to use, but you know what I'm talking about. Them sticking with Mykhaylo Arteta through that period, right? That's the only thing in 15 years that the Kroenkes have done right. The only thing. Can anyone give me one more example of the Kroenkes doing something good right? Showing some sort of ambition. If someone has another example, then let me know. Stop, please, being negative. Stop being negative. Is this negative? Is this negative, or is losing that to Chelsea for the guy you've been talking to for 2.5 months negative? Which one's negative? Lee just said sacking Wenger. The thing is, Lee, I'd agree with you, but that should have been done years before it got done. So I get you. Finally, but that should have been done a long time before that. But I wouldn't put it there. But I get why someone would. Cool, whatever. 98 times out of 100. Fuck it. We'll give them one more. Someone said Ben White. That's Mykhaylo Arteta, man. Do you think Stan Kroenke knows who the fuck Ben White was? Maybe is. I don't think so. So imagine we put in the bids in November and December. So we knew where we stood. We knew where Shakhtar stood. Imagine we put in 2 bids. So then we knew, all right, we need to kind of touch 95 million, 100 million euros to get this deal done. This was before Sterling was injured. This was before Pulisic was injured. This was before Felix was bought and then suspended for 3 games. Don't you think these injuries and Felix's suspension has had some part to play in Chelsea all of a sudden within 7 hours getting to Poland, Turkey, or wherever these fucking guys are, talking and getting the deal done just like that? We could have got Mudryk before Chelsea even knew they had problems in that department. And yes, people will say, oh, a week ago we heard of Chelsea's interest. Not really. No bids, no meetups. You'll probably tell me Fabrizio Romano said something. I just told you what I think about Fabrizio Romano and all of these, man. I say Fabrizio Romano because he is the most followed. What's he got? Like 13 million followers. Mad. 13 million followers. And you think he isn't a pawn in this chess game that we call the transfer window? It's all chess. And Fabrizio Romano is a big part of that. You know, clubs will just pick him up, move him to where they want to move him to. I don't know how to fucking play chess, so I don't even know the pawns and the kings and I don't know which one is which, the horse thing, whatever. Clubs just, pick him up, put him where they want. Your move, check. Then boom, let's move him here. Checkmate. Thank you, Romano. Here's your 5% of 100 million euros. On we move. The guy has 13 million followers. Love for the love, man. Let me get my iPad out of here, man. I don't need it. Should I start the super chats, or do I have more to say? I think I've rounded it off. We could have started bids earlier from November. If we had, it probably would have eliminated Chelsea from the argument, considering they didn't know what they needed until the last couple week. And we'd probably be here with a new player. Probably would be playing against Tottenham tomorrow. And if we had moved proactively and efficiently, probably would have been here in the first couple of days of January. Liverpool. Not linked to no one. No rumours, no nothing before the window started. Then bang, Gakpo. Bang, Gakpo signed. Bang! He's in a shirt. Bang! He's ready to play. Just like that. Just like that. So again, I'm going to quote our manager, Mykhaylo Arteta. You might not like me. That's fine. I don't care. But you like Mykhaylo. You need to be maximizing every window. Proactive is ideal. You take those two quotes, and you know that Mykhaylo Arteta's not happy with what's just happened today. You know. Without a shadow of a doubt, you know. Mykhaylo Arteta hasn't really brought many forwards in since he's come. Well, in comparison to other areas on the pitch, you know. It was Odegaard in 2021. It was Jesus in 2022. Aside from those two, you know, someone can tell me if I'm wrong. But I don't think he's brought in any other attackers. So to go all in the way we've been going with Mudryk shows that he must have wanted him badly. Shows that he is very important, or was deemed very important to the project, to depth and all of that. Someone said Willian. Some people are reminding me of Willian. But guess what? Willian came in, flopped, and we got rid the next summer. And that's something I wanted from this club too, because not all transfers are going to work. But guess what? If you move proactively and you get rid as soon as you can get rid, then cool. You tried, it didn't work, we moved. And that's what happened with Willian. That's what happened. Everyone knows how I felt about Willian signing for Arsenal. Everyone knows how I felt. Didn't work. See you later, mate. Contract cancelled, we move. So as much as that signing was a horrendous signing, terrible signing, Arteta, the club, showed me something that I haven't seen in a long time. A bit of ruthlessness, you know. Fuck having this guy stay around here. Let's just move him on ASAP. ASAP. But yeah, we've missed that. We've missed out on our priority target. He's gone Chelsea. And like I said, I don't know much about the guy. He looks good. He looks good. I've liked what I've seen. I've liked what I've heard. Bear in mind, I haven't seen a lot. It's just that if we was willing to go so close to the fee that was eventually agreed, why wasn't we willing to match it in the end? It's not the same. It's far from the same. But it does remind me a bit about that Ashley Cole 5K difference in the contract and the Suarez £1 million. Sometimes if that's your man, that's your man. Forget who the other man is, that if that one doesn't work, let's get this one. Sometimes there isn't this one. Sometimes it's that guy, or we fix another position, especially in January. Especially in January. In January, it's hard to get the players you really want in. You're going to have to pay over the odds. But hey, I'll have a lot of fans saying to me, don't overspend. Well, no one's asking you to go bank and pull out cash and put it in for the transfer. The money's not yours. We help generate that money through season tickets, through tickets to games, through food and merchandise, through the support of the club locally and worldwide, through sponsorships, through all of that. Sometimes it will be misspent. Willian is a good example of that. Pepe is a good example of that. But does that mean that those examples mean you should never, ever do it again or never take risks again? Because if that's the case, then you might as well just not sign anyone again, because, you know, if the worry is they're not going to live up to expectation, then that can be said for any player from 20 mil to 100 mil. Example, we look at Sambi recently. He didn't cost a lot of money, did he? We didn't really care too much how much he cost. But when we see him on the pitch, we haven't seen enough, so we're not happy. We're not happy. He hasn't met the expectation that we had of him coming in. He's not a £78 million signing, is he? So regardless of the cost at the end of the day, sometimes you have to, push the boat out. Not hard to find better wingers, says Sefer. Well, maybe you should apply to be an Arsenal scout or something then, because I just don't get how all of a sudden everyone just becomes an expert. And don't get me wrong, over the years I've been guilty of that. I wanted Pepe at this club. I wanted Pepe. Another good example. I wanted Pepe, but then I learned. I wanted Pepe. I was upset with White coming in. I was upset with Ramsdale coming in. And you look now, Pepe was a joke. Ben White and Ramsdale have done very well. What do I know? What do you know? What do we know? We ain't paid to make these decisions. We ain't experts in those fields. We haven't got the connects and the network and all that. So we can want what we want. I can tell you what I'd spend 100 million on now too. But it's not about what I want. It's not about what you want. It's not about what we want. It's about what the manager wants at the end of the day. And if we've gone this far, then give the manager what he wants. Find a few pieces of the jigsaw. We've come a long way. We're top of the league. City just lost. We've got a North London derby tomorrow. What better way to steal a signing in between? But hey, probably end up with Tielemans and Zaha in the next 2 weeks and hope for the best. And don't get me wrong, they might come in and improve the quality for sure, because it's not hard to do that when you look at the squad. I don't mean the starting 11, I mean the squad. Zaha and Tielemans would improve the squad. But it's obvious that's not who Mykhaylo Arteta wanted. So if they do come in, I hope for the best. I'll get behind them. But if it fails, then questions will be raised, or these same questions will be raised, not only by me, by Mykhaylo Arteta as well. Like I said, you don't have to like me. I don't care about all of that. I've got my life. I've got my son. I've got my business. I've got a lot of support and love in the chat, in the YouTube world. You don't have to like me. But these are also things that Mykhaylo Arteta will want. Non-negotiables doesn't just, fall to players too. If you have a man like Mykhaylo who's talked about non-negotiables with players, then he also has an expectation from the people above him too. And if you don't match that expectation and continue to not match that expectation, he'll think to himself, 100%. He'll think to himself, especially when maybe other clubs come knocking, or the fans get upset with the direction it changes to. Because right now the directions, we all see the direction we're going in. And that's why, don't get me wrong, if I talk about the league and I talk about North London derby, it'd be a very different conversation to the one that I'm having with you guys and girls now. It'd be very different. But I'm talking about the transfer and the transfer window. And I've got a lot of transfer windows in years gone by that I've kind of, stacked up. Bang, here we are, Saturday, 14th of January. Another example of an ownership that maybe didn't pull the boat out as much as push the boat out, pulled, whatever it is, but push, pull, you know what I mean. An ownership that didn't quite have that same ambition. 5-10 million overspending. I'm glad we pulled out of the deal, says certain fans. I don't think Arteta's glad we pulled out of the deal. I honestly don't. Because if we went up to a figure that's 5-10 million off, then I'm sure he's not happy that we didn't match. Didn't match, couldn't match. I guess that's a debate in itself. None of us really know. We've spent a lot of money recently. We've been in Europa League. 1 year we wasn't even in Europe. UEFA watch list rumors last summer. God knows. On one hand, people tell me FFP is relaxed, and it still is relaxed. I'm seeing Todd Bowley spend money like nobody's business. On the other hand, I've got people telling me FFP and we've got to stay within this and that. I don't know what to believe. I don't listen to these things. I just talk about what I see. And what I see is us losing out to a player again. So it is what it is. What's this? What do we have here? Oh, Twitter's going off. Chelsea fan, Mayo. All right, Mayo. Say no more. Say no more. One of the stoppage time TV guys wanted to quote my tweet. It is what it is. I gotta take it on the chin. All right, cool. 50. What is it? 51 minutes. All right, cool. 51 minutes. 52 super chats. Let's see what we can do, man. Let's see what we can do. Let me scroll right up. Man said, "How's life?" Good one. Good one. Good one. JJ, let's just start with the most recent one since it's there. Big up Turkish. We don't know the insides. Let's see what we're seeing, my bro. Are you seeing? We're seeing. I'm seeing. Hello, we've been seeing. We've been hearing. Is it always let's see, or does that excuse some of the failures under this ownership? I don't like let's see. I've seen enough to pretty much know. But yeah, I don't know what more to say to that, JJ. Some people want to see, some people have seen. What can we do? All right, let's go up to the top. Ryan says, Turks, I'm in pain, man, but I'm not surprised. Ryan, you know what it is already. We've been talking for a long time, bro. We talk at games, we talk online, we talk in the DMs. You know what it is. Daniel says, love from Denmark. Todd B is hardcore. We stand on the wrong side. Oh, yeah. Come on, you Gunners. The thing about Bowley is, on one hand, listen, but on one, Matisse said it right earlier, big up Matisse as well, because he said he ain't about to come here shameless and start rubbing it in Arsenal fans' faces when the reality is we're top of the league. Chelsea are in the mud. The direction we're headed in seems to be in a different direction that Chelsea are headed in. So, he'll just take this transfer with a pinch of salt, hope for the best, and, see how it goes. Todd Bowley's scattergun approach, it hasn't worked so far. No guarantees it will work. There's more evidence it won't work than it will, but we'll see. On that one, we'll see. Not like JJ will see, because with Kroenke, we've seen. With Todd Bowley, it's been 6 months. So as much as it's been laughable over those 6 months, as much as they've spent, with this Mudryk deal, I'm sure it's close to 400, 500 million. It's laughable, but we haven't seen enough to know yet. So we will see with that one. But one thing I do like is Man United Arsenal linked to Felix, apparently. Again, I don't actually think we was really linked to Felix. Like I said, I'd take all of these with a pinch of salt. I wanted Felix. I said Felix from last summer. I don't know if a lot of you remember, but the transfer window, I said, if we can kind of go in for Felix, that would be great. Became somewhat a reality in January. Whether we was or wasn't interested, cool. You can believe we was, you can believe we wasn't. It doesn't really change the narrative. Arsenal, United, interested. Chelsea, bang. They come in, bang. They visit, bang. Deal done, bang. He starts a game. We can laugh at everything else with Todd Bowley. We can question everything else. We can say he's moving mad, spending a hell of a lot of money. It's going to catch up to him. We can say he doesn't know what he's doing. But that is something I'd like. Just that moment. Not everything I've just said. That kind of, you want someone, you talk to them, you talk to the club, you get it done. Matter of days. Same again here, right? Mudryk. Apparently Chelsea were keeping an eye out last week or whatever the rumor was. Today it really picked up. They fly out, talk to the club, talk to the player, convince both. Bang, deal done. We'll see Mudryk in Chelsea blue next weekend, I assume. Is that their next game? I think that's their next game. Next possible game, he'll be playing for them. That's something that you can admire. So yeah, big up Daniel. Hope you're well, my guy. Get the W tomorrow and shut the country up. Yeah, obviously 3 points tomorrow. You know, it won't make me forget about this, but the current crop of players is the players that have got us to where we are. January and signings, in my opinion, are integral to maintain that level, that push and motivate and develop these starters. People say it's coming as a backup to Martinelli, coming in for competition. That helps Martinelli, and that would help a player like Modric too, who hopes to burst into the squad and make a name for himself. But tomorrow's North London derby, get a win, we move. Today was an example of same old Arsenal under these owners. I hope tomorrow isn't. I really do. Tomorrow is a massive, massive chance for us. Big chance. So 3 points against them lot will go a long way in easing the pain of some. I'm not in pain. I'm angry. I am angry about it because I actually thought we'd get this one done. But I'm not in pain, but some people are in pain. So yeah, 3 points tomorrow. Cool. We move. If we don't get 3 points, then if we lose that game now, Curtis, if you're here, you might need to do big six, my guy. Finally, I start showing some chest, and here we are. What a weekend so far. Sadiq said, we knew Shakhtar wanted 95 million euros, same as Anthony's fee. Our last bid was 95 million euros. We gave Chelsea the chance to hijack the deal. This is on the board. Very good super chat. Very good super chat. Because I remember when they pretty much said, or they did say, if Anthony's going for this fee, we value Mudryk the same. And then finally, our third bid being around that fee. But it wasn't quick enough. By that time, Chelsea had lost 2, they've lost. Someone comes in, gets a red card, and he's suspended. They're further in the mud than they was heading into January. So they decide, let's go get him. Because these men are fucking about. And we was fucking about. So Chelsea got the job done. It is on our board. It is on our board because we best believe if we bid that 95 million euros or whatever our final bid was in December, end of December, or whatever, Mudryk would be an Arsenal player right now. Because at that point, there was no interest from Chelsea. They were yet to see how they would return from the World Cup. But since their return, boy, oh boy, they've needed something. So I don't blame them trying to get players in. It just happens to be one of the players they've got in, or to some, 2 of the players they've got in were Arsenal targets. So big up Sadiq, man. Hope you're good. Kieran, I know there must be some super chats coming in now, so I'd say take it easy, but I'm going to go back and save them ones too. But let me just go through the ones that I have saved. Kieran says, even though he looks great, we have both Smith Rowe and Martinelli that can play on the left. We should try get a backup for the striker or right wing instead. Kieran, that's your opinion, and that's great. And that's not me mocking. My thing is, our manager wanted the player. Our manager wanted another player in that position. Our manager seemed like he was intent on Mudryk. So I'll say it again. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what I want. I've come to the stage now where I trust Mykhaylo with the transfers. So if you want him, cool, you want him. I don't have to know him. I don't really care too much about that now because he's proved me wrong with a few transfers over the last 2 years. So long may that continue. I ain't got an opinion on it. Or I do, but it's not an opinion that I wish to share because it doesn't matter. So that's how I see it, bro. I hope you understand what I'm saying there. Because we do have Smith Rowe, we do have Martinelli. I have the same questions as you in that sense. Why would we go for another player off that left? But it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the manager, and he wanted it. So we move. We move. Missing again. I'm wounded, bro. I can't lie. Surely there's a plan B, etc. But to chase a guy this aggressively and not grab him, it's sore. But the 100 million asking price is mad. I wanted Felix anyway. Who next? Well, they're both at Chelsea. Who next? Who next? I think a lot of the names that you would naturally turn to for next would be a Leao, would be a what's the name, Kovar, whatever that Napoli guy's name is. Someone even mentioned Gnabry. If you've got that money, well, he just signed a new contract, so and he operates off the right more so, I believe. But listen, it's not who next. We can all have who next. Like I said, some people saying Trossard and Zaha and that. It's just not. It's not the one, is it? You know, you want something and you get an alternative, and you got to make do. It's not the best. It's not the best platform. Now, don't get me wrong. Man City and Pep have lost out on transfers in the past, and they've got who they've needed to get afterwards. And like I said, there's certain positions you can have plan Bs and plan Cs, and there's other positions where managers are intent on getting the right player, even if they have to wait a season. We've seen examples of that too. So I just feel like this position is a position that Mykhaylo really wanted Mudryk in. But yeah, it is what it is. Sorry, I just got a message. But yeah, what do you say? I'm wounded. You know what? I'm just trying to keep my head up because we're top of the league. We've got Tottenham tomorrow. Man City lost. So it is what it is. Peter says, trust the process. We move. North London. Peter. Bro, leave that trust the process stuff now, bro. All fans, 99% fans are on board. We're behind Arteta. We've liked how far we've come. We've liked what we've seen. I'm trying to tell you that Mykhaylo wanted Mudryk. I'm trying to tell you that Mykhaylo says maximize every window. I'm trying to tell you that Mykhaylo said be proactive is ideal. These are parts of his process. He is the one that brought the process. So best believe he ain't happy with the situation right now either. Don't forget what he said after Newcastle. Thin squad. So it's not a trust the process right now. It's not that. But thank you for the super chat. Now all the clubs know what we are willing to spend. So now prices for the players we want will be ramped up. Potentially. They're ramped up anyway. Potentially. We'll see. We'll see. All I know is, like last year, I said, if we had 75 million to spend on Vlahovic, where did that 75 million go in the end of the January window? Nowhere. So 14th of January 2023, we've bid 70 million up front. So I'm not even going to class the add-ons. Let's just say what we had up front, 70 million, right? Let's see where that 70 million is going to go. Let's see if it goes anywhere, which it might not if we look at last January, but we'll see. Turkish, our current forward line costs 6 million, and Mykhaylo has signed one attacker in 3 years. We're competing with City, first place. Credit to the coach, first 11, 100%. Ash, I know these super chats were setting quite early, but you've heard me give credit to Mykhaylo and take away any heat towards Mykhaylo about this, because I don't put this on him. Far, far from it. I actually believe that he is unhappy as we are that we've missed out on him. So it's not about him for me. Chelsea did us a favor, says Twinny. No way as a kid from the Ukrainian league with less than 50 games under his belt worth 100 million, but there has to be a plan B. Like I said, the selling club determines the value, and they also look at the buying club and determine how much they being us, we Arsenal, need him. Being top of the league with a thin squad, they knew we needed him a lot. I'm with you. Anything over 20, 25 mil for a player like Modric would be overspending. But when you get so close to the fee that's eventually agreed with another club, that other club being a London club, being Chelsea, it just makes you think, is that what it took to to gazump us in this transfer. Most transfers nowadays are not worth what they are, if not all. I'd say most, because Liverpool with Gakpo, I guess they really pulled a good deal out of that one. When you look at the other deals going around, it all depends on how Gakpo hits the ground running and performs, but lower risk considering the fee. But you look around and every club has to pay over the odds for a transfer. It is what it is. Chin up, Turkish. It's all love, my bro. Peter, you know what it is already, man. Just deflated, to say the least. I've managed to keep it calm. We move. Dutch Spliff says we are window shoppers. Well. Lucas says, who are you looking at as a possible signing now? Bro, I haven't even had time to digest what's happened today. There's a North London derby tomorrow. I'm going to be there. So right now, I'm not even thinking about all that. Maybe, what am I doing this week? Big 6 Monday, Big 6 extra Tuesday, Big 6 Thursday. Maybe next Saturday night we talk again. We'll see if there's any movement on any other players, and maybe I offer an opinion on who I might like to see. But again, over the years, I've learned it doesn't matter who I like, especially in this day and age of systems and the right pieces for the jigsaw and all of that. So yeah, maybe next week, maybe never. Who knows? Big up Aston Mac in the building. I told you I see your super chat earlier, my guy. I hope you and the family are well, man. I miss Orlando, man. I do miss Orlando. He said, you all right? Bro, I'm all good aside from what we're talking about now. All good. Took my little one soft play. Enjoyed for a little bit. Went to TGI's, but didn't have a table booked. I didn't know you need to book tables for TGI's. I didn't know it was up market like that, but ended up at Five Guys, burger and chips. We move. We come home, we talk about Mudryk. I do worry about our ability to get deals done. Every deal under Edu has taken a while, but we move. This will cripple Chelsea. 458 million spent for fourth will destroy their project for some time. We will be fine. And yeah, I actually have the same feeling of Chelsea too, Aston. I feel like the money they've spent and the way they've spent it is surely going to come back and bite them. Surely, if these FFPs and fair play rules and all of this stuff is to be believed, then surely this comes back around and knocks Chelsea for 6. I believe it will. But then again, who said it? Money talks. Money talks. And it always has talked. And Chelsea have a lot of it. So I don't just necessarily mean players there, but, sweeteners under the desk and all of that. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I'd be very livid if we don't sign anyone. I think we all would be. Smokey said, Turkish G, I said this on Big 6. He's unproven. Mudryk is raw. Hasn't even played 30 games. The test for the board is to get someone in now that can work. Again, bro, I agree with you. But if my manager wanted him, I wanted him. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not about me. Like me, 6 months ago, I didn't know who the hell this guy was. But our manager wanted him. So I wanted him. Because over the last 2 years, the manager, Arteta, has changed my mind on him, on the way he's doing things, and I trust him a lot more. That's my team. So I agree with you on one hand, but you have to see my point of view from the other. Where are we? Southern Gooner. This month will tell us all we need to know, brother. Turkish. Well, I guess so. I guess, the next 2 weeks are crucial for the people upstairs at Arsenal Football Club. I say crucial. We've messed about before and it's been forgotten about. I just hope that it's not forgotten about moving forward, because we're onto a good thing with Mykhaylo. Or so it seems, where we are, where we've come from. It'd be a shame to lose it. due to not showing ambition, which is hardly surprising considering that's been the story of our lives under the Kroenke ownership. But yeah, Tevin in the building, big up my guy, member of the channel as well, man. Big up you, my guy, because I still ain't done something for members, and his membership's been open for a year now. But it is gonna all come. It is gonna all come slowly but surely. But big up you because you've been a member for a little while now. This hurts my G, I'm not gonna lie. But if no one gets signed this month, Edu has to walk. Arteta has done what he can with what he has. Back him or walk. You see, with the Edu one, I still have to think. Because is it Edu that didn't want to spend the 5-10 million more? I fail to believe that. Or is it that he was restricted in spending the 5-10 million more, which kind of sounds more plausible. I don't know why Edu wouldn't spend the 5-10 million more to get the player that the guy he's working with wants. Then again, I might be wrong. I'm just basing this off of nothing really. I'm just trying to look at it and make it make sense. You know, I try and do that a lot, make it make sense, but sometimes it's hard to do that with this ownership and board. So would it all go on Edu? I think that would be easy target. I think that would, you know, take attention away from who really deserves that attention. Kroenke's. I don't care if it's Josh, Stan, his wife, his cousin, his auntie, his nephew. I don't care. Kroenke name, just I have my doubts. I don't care who you put as the face of it. I have my doubts, to say the least. Don't get me wrong. Since Josh has been the face of it, we've been moving a bit better. I say that, but Mykhaylo Arteta is the one really. Since he's come in, we've really kind of got rid of the dead wood, cleaned our wage pool, and then brought in players that I like. So that coincides with maybe Josh trusting in him when a lot of us didn't. But I just think, you know, putting it on Edu would let them get away with it. But big up Tevin, man. My guy, Mr. BP said, seen bro. I gotta say, I'm glad you messaged because I can laugh now. It's not a laugh or cry one. I have to laugh. My bro, you have to change this username. My bro, please. Because I can't say it. Mr. BP, I hope you don't mind that. I just can't say your username, bro. Please, just man, them don't call you this on outside. They don't call you this outside. Seen Arteta go to the States twice in the last 12, 13 months and come back empty-handed both times. Sigh. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think, you know, he's been going there to kind of talk to the Kroenkes and get further investment. It seems like he's going there to plead with them, to show how serious he is about what we need. Because last January, to go meet them and then come out of January with nothing, I don't know if that meeting was the meeting we all think it was. I think maybe Arteta felt like he needed to do that. But then again, it comes towards the end of the season, the new contract for Mykhaylo and the way it was done after a few losses. You know, Mykhaylo really liked that show of faith. And in hindsight, considering what Mykhaylo's done this season, I liked it as well because, you know, Mykhaylo's done bits for us this season. We're top of the league. Good transfer window in the summer. 2 of his ex-players through the door. They've helped us a lot. But yeah, I don't know if these meetings are going the way that we've been thinking these meetings have been going. I'd be very surprised if they have. Sorry, people. I'm just going back through the chat now and saving all the newer ones that have come up so I don't miss them. You know, I might need to cut the super chat soon because I don't want to miss any, and we're back up to 42 after the what was we on, like 50 something, and now we're 42. All right, cool. Don't worry. An hour 15 minutes in. Is my son sleeping? I can't hear him, so he must be sleeping. Hopefully he's sleeping. Yeah, I'm nearly at the bottom now. I'm seeing people laugh at the username. My bro, I don't mean to. Yeah, bruv, it's love for the love, my guy. Love for the love, but I can't say the username, my guy. One time I nearly said it as well. I had to stop myself. That is a clip waiting to happen. You're trying to get me clipped with the username, my guy. But you support the thing as always. So yeah. Jerome says, you look hurt, Turkish. Stay strong. You can't stress about the transfer window. We are coming for you next week. Man United fan Jerome. Am I hurt? I'm not hurt. I'm frustrated. I'm not in pain. I'm just surprise. You know that feeling? Surprise. You know when you just know something like this can happen and it happens? It's just like frustrated, deflated. Those are better words. Hurt, not necessarily hurt, because I don't know much about my man. Don't get twisted. When he signs for Chelsea, if he hits the ground running and bags and becomes the next star for Chelsea, then I'll be more hurt. Then talk to me again in a couple months or next season. Then I'll be hurt. But yeah, we will see you next week, my guy. We will see you next week. No problem at all. Big up Dave Jordan in the building. He said, relax. We wanted Lissandro and got Zinni instead. Wanted Vlahovic, got Jesus. Plenty more fish in the sea. We submitted a fair offer. Can't do any more. With the Zinni one, I feel like we went in for Zinni first, knocked back, then went in for Lissandro. That's just the feeling I get. I feel like City wanted to hold on to Zinni earlier on in the window, obviously entertaining the Cucurella idea. We went for Lissandro. United went in for Lissandro. The price went up a bit. We kind of went back in for Zinni because City seemed to be accelerating with Cucurella, and then we got it done. So I think that one's a bit different. But at the same time, like I said, there's certain positions that you're going to have in a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. But there's certain positions that you're going to just have that plan A. That's the man I want. And I feel like Mudryk must have been one of those ones, because instead of pulling out earlier on, we've been kind of going up in price. It started with 70 million all in euros. Then it went up to 95 million all in after, 3 bids in total. So it seemed like this was the guy that Mykhaylo wanted and, we was going all in for. With Vlahovic and Jesus, I honestly feel like two very different strikers. So I don't even believe we was in for Vlahovic last January. I don't believe it, because if we was, what happened to the money? If we was, why didn't he know about it? Because he came out and said he didn't know about it. I've seen enough examples to tell me that we wasn't really in for him, and that was more Twitter in the no hype. But, I might be wrong on that as well, because that's just my assumption. You're right. There's plenty more fish in the sea. Like I said, the left side isn't somewhere I thought would have needed attention, especially with Emile Smith-Rowe coming back. The reason that I'm frustrated with it is because I feel like Mykhaylo wanted him. I'm going to keep on going back to that. If I'm going to improve on one wing, if it was up to me, and it doesn't matter about what I think, I'm going to say it again. If it was up to me, I'd strengthen the right wing ahead of the left wing, because I feel like the depth behind Saka is weaker than Emile Smith-Rowe behind Martinelli. But if our manager wants this player, I want this player. I've seen enough to back the thing. So, and I feel like I'm relaxed, Dave. Haven't I been relaxed? Calm? I don't know. Frustrated, yeah. I feel like I've been relaxed. Hope you're well, though, my guy. Like I said, Zaha, Trossard, Asensio, and even Leao are doable. Rafinha on loan is possible. If Edu and owners are smart, get a winger on loan and cover for Partey. Like, you know what I've said about Zaha and Trossard already. Don't get me wrong. Zaha, he has quality. Trossard, what is he, 27, 28 years old? I don't know about my man. Asensio. Yeah. To be honest, you're kind of naming, until you go to Leao and Zaha and Leao out of them lot, would probably be the most like for like transfers in comparison to Mudryk, Trossard, Asensio, and Rafinha. Not so much. Rafinha plays the other side, even though I like Rafinha. He plays the other side. So I just don't know. It's not up to me. It's not up to you. It's not us making the decisions. It's not us that have taken the team from where we was 3 years ago to where we are now. It's the manager. So it depends what the manager wants. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens off the back of this. Very interesting. Do we have this money? Is it all real? Because in comparison to last year, Vlahovic, I didn't believe last year. Mudryk, I believe this year. I don't know why. I don't know why exactly. Maybe the fact that Mudryk's really been so open with wanting to come Arsenal. That probably is why. But last year I didn't believe Vlahovic. This year I believe Mudryk. And with the cover for Partey thing, I agree. We need cover for Partey. We need competition for Xhaka / an improvement on Xhaka. We need another forward. It's not just a forward we need. There is other positions we can strengthen in. Hence why last January I said, all right, if we're not in for Vlahovic and we were willing to go to 70, 75 mil, then why don't we just say fuck it and go give 25 mil to, who was it? Who did Newcastle buy Bruno off? Leon. Was it Leon? Yeah, I don't even give a toss who they bought him off. He went for like 25, 35 mil, right? So if we had 70 and it wasn't working out in striker, then we could have brought him in, someone else in a different position that we needed. Hence why I didn't believe that last January. So let's see this January. Maybe there isn't a winger that's a plan B. Maybe there isn't. But there needs to be a plan A for a Partey backup / competition, a Xhaka improvement / competition. So let's see if this money moves from Mudryk to Tom, Dick, or Harry next. I don't know who the hell it's going to be. Yeah. If key words here, like if Edu and the owners are smart. These owners smart, football, soccer, whatever they want to call it. I don't think so, my guy. I don't think so. She knows. Miz says the fact he was twerking for us makes it more heartbreaking. That's probably why I believe it more than Vlahovic. Usman says, as a fan, do you care about overpaying for players? Nope. Isn't a 20 million loan for João worth it if we win the league? Yep. United fans don't regret Anthony. They say it's not their money. So the first two questions, do you care about overpaying for players? No, not if it's the player that my manager wants. Is 20 million loan for João worth it if we win the league? No. I mean, yes, sorry, it's worth it. Of course it is. United fans don't regret Anthony. They say it's not their money. Now on that last one, it's, you buy a player for a bigger man. If it doesn't work out, you kind of do regret it because it's so early days for Anthony. It's hard to judge him yet. I know people like to judge straight in 6 months. I tend to wait 18 months before judging a new player, especially from a foreign league. So 6 months is hard to tell, but Man United fans definitely regret Harry Maguire, for example. That's definitely one. Chelsea fans would definitely regret Kepa. But maybe recently he's been better for them, but it doesn't matter. That guy, 73 mil. I regret Pepe. Because when we bought Pepe and it didn't work out, I've got Arsenal fans telling me we can't do that again. Absolute nonsense. Like we actually spent over the odds once in our lifetime, and then because it didn't work out, I'm being told we can't do that again. Mad. Smoky settings again. The key thing to remember is that no matter what he was looking for a move this winter because of his situation, as long as the club gets someone proven. Agree with that. I'm with you on that one. Simran says, because of money, we are behind in this process. Edu, not good in his job. Mykhaylo deserves more. Hashtag Kroenke out. Again, with Edu, it's hard to really tell. How much fault lies on his doorstep. Definitely more than Mykhaylo. Definitely more. Because Mykhaylo said in recent interviews that Edu and the rest of them are dealing with the transfers. So he's made it very clear that although he has a say in who, because he was made manager, remember, from head coach a couple of years back, although he has a say who, he tells them who, and he hopes they do it. So yeah, There's definitely fault there. I don't know how much fault, but I like the way you ended the super chat, my guy. Turkish, if we lose tomorrow, the fan base are going to go crazy, says TBG. Added pressure now for tomorrow. Must win game, no excuse. Hashtag Kroenke out. I'm fed up. I've never changed on my opinions on the Kroenkes. I've never changed because transfer windows are the indicator for change, and the change needs to come from them. So I'm not going to change my opinion on them because from September to December, Mykhaylo's done wonders with the squad and put us in first place. The transfer windows is what's going to change my mind. And January last year, terrible. Summer, brilliant. The summer the year before, brilliant. Cool. Couple brilliant ones there. But then what happened to January? It dragged it down. What's happening this January? Well, we'll see. Still 2 weeks to go, but it has the potential to drag down the good work they've done in the summer. So, as much as I can turn it around and say, Mykhaylo, I was jumping the gun a bit. Kroenke's, I don't think I'm ever going to turn around and think differently about them, in my honest opinion. Oren says, so we're going back for Rafinha, or are we mudded? I don't know why everyone's saying Rafinha. Is this situation done at Barca already? What's going on? Because if Barca are still in need of money, then go and bid that 60 million for De Jong that they was going to accept from Man United in the summer. Go and bid that. Like I said, we've got other positions we can improve on, add players in. Go and bid that. Quality addition to the midfield for under the price that we were offering for Mudryk. With Bag's more experience. Yes, different position, but it's a position we also need something in. But I don't know why Rafinha's name is being mentioned as much anymore. Maybe he has problems there. Waveman says, bro, Arsenal big, but we ain't buying nobody. This January window, been saying that to myself. Well, I still think we'll buy someone. Maybe more fool me. But I do think it will be an underwhelming one, because how can it not be after the saga we've just gone through with Mudryk? George says, Danilo from Palmeiras, who was one of Arsenal's long-term targets, joined Nottingham Forest and cost them 20 million in just 3 days. In my opinion, he could have served as a backup for Partey. I remember the links to Danilo. Strong links as well. Strong links. But links are links. Who the fuck said it? Romano, Ornstein, Watts, Jacobs. Who the hell are these guys? I'm going to go back to that again. But if you know Danilo, I mean, I don't. If you know Danilo and you've seen him play, not just 1 game, 3 games, I mean, seen him play, and you think he was a good option, then 20 million is a bargain in this day and age. Obviously, I'll be finding out myself now he's at Nottingham Forest, and I watch a lot more of this league than any other. So we'll find out. We'll find out whether it's a similar one to the Bruno Guimaraes one last January, where all our eggs are in one basket. And I do that because, I don't believe it. That we failed to see someone else in the league pick up a quality player that we could have done with, So we'll see with Danilo. I don't know much about the guy. But it looks like Forest have done some good business there. The guy Sidar says, well, the guy was twerking for us and got his head turned with money. Good riddance. Remember Sanchez? Even Pep had to pull out and see how that worked. I've already kind of mentioned this one. His choice was Chelsea or Shakhtar. We didn't match the offer. Could he have kicked his toys out of the pram and asked for a transfer request and said it's only Arsenal? Yes. I guess he could have. But I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's been at Shakhtar since he was young, and I guess that's a bit of a disrespect. And when you hear the amount that Chelsea offered, what does that mean? Because he accepted that contract, that you don't want a player like that. Top players want top money. Look at Martinelli, Saka, and Saliba at the moment with their contract renewals. They want better money than they're on. Is it good riddance to them too? Money talks. It's nothing new. So I don't agree with you there. My hate for Chelsea is rivaling Spurs right now, and I feel we have to unite to get Daniel Ek and Spotify to buy out the hideous Kroenkes. I don't know, man. I don't know. Whether I don't think Daniel Ek is the answer. It was a nice thought around the time of the Super League and him being the only one that really showed interest, but I don't think he's the answer. I don't think we. Don't get me wrong. If you ask me now, I could change Kroenke for Daniel Ek, then yeah, I would do that. I would, because something different, you know. I don't believe many owners can be as bad as the Kroenkes. So it's worth a shot, but I don't think Daniel Ek is the answer if I had a choice out of selecting different new owners. Man didn't let it rip on the pitch. I don't know what that's about, but obviously that's from a little while ago. So, James says Bowley gets who he wants because he wants trophies and it's his club. Can you say the same about Kroenke? James, thank you for the super chat. Nice and easy answer. And the answer is no, you cannot. How do we bounce back from this? Well, we move strong and we get a good targeting. Someone that has quality, maybe a bit more experience than Mudryk has had, whatever. That's how you bounce back. That's how you bounce back. Arteta must be fed up with this. Over 2 weeks lost. Kroenke not serious for trophies. Warren in the building. Turkish, my guy. I feel you with this one. Never change, my guy. The realist when it comes to this Arsenal journey. Love for the love, my bro. Love for the love, man. It's a shame we have to link up over these circumstances. I just thought to myself, you know what? Let's talk, man. Let's talk. So we're talking. But big up you. Love for the support, man. Really appreciate it, man. Still 4.8k in the building. Listen, hit the like button if you haven't already. I just clocked we've already passed 2,000 likes. How comes on Big Six when I got Big Six on? I have to tell people to pass 2,000 likes. On this one, it's because there's better ops in the building, isn't it? They like to see this frustration, this hidden pain. They like to see that. But big up, Warren. Big Ash says, don't let this deflate you, bro. Chelsea want to give him a crazy 200,000 a week. That kind of money ruins young talent. It's not about not having money. It's not about not having money. Chelsea want to give him a crazy kind of money ruining it. It's not about not having money. I'm trying to make sense of this. I don't know if you're saying that it's not that we didn't have the money. It's more that we were not moving stupid like Chelsea. Because honestly, based off of the way Mudryk's been moving, and also, I'm sure Shakhtar would have come back to Arsenal and said, like, do you want to match the bid? And we probably said no because there was no further update with Arsenal and Mudryk following Chelsea's agreement. He didn't have a choice to make. Would he have accepted 100k a week at Arsenal when Chelsea are offering 200? Who knows? Who knows? With Zinchenko there and the Ukrainian connection and the way he just busted it open for Arsenal over the last 2 months, I feel like he would have accepted that half of that, but I would never know. I would never know. We have dodged a bullet with Mudryk. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Soon to be at Chelsea. Turkish, we made inquiries for Rafinha, then Pedro Neto in the summer, so Arteta must have identified them ahead of Mudryk. What about Rafinha now? So Edu's talked about the Rafinha stuff already regarding the summer. I won't say summer move, but he was having a conversation with Deco and he mentioned Rafinha. And Deco, isn't Deco his agent? I think Deco's his agent. And Deco said that Rafinha will probably be going to Barcelona. So there was no further like news stories about that. There was just that one bit of what seemed like a friend to a friend or man to man asking, you know, what's his situation like. and his agent saying, yeah, he wants Barca, and us not taking it any further. Plus, Rafinha is a right-sided winger, so that would have been competition for Saka. And with Neto, again, who said that? Ornstein? Do I need to talk about these men anymore? I don't get me wrong, they get some things right. Some things. But I can't deal with that, with their conversion rate, I'll be honest with you. Especially when it comes to Arsenal. The conversion rate of some of these in the nose when it comes to Arsenal. Fucking hell. Darwin Núñez. He chased the money. He chose the money. Wait, he chose the money is only relevant today. Arsenal agreed personal terms with Mudryk. We dragged this deal too long. Okay, yeah, another, and more facts, because it's true. You know, we could have got this deal done before Chelsea even knew they wanted another winger or forward, before any of their players were injured in that position, before their new signing got a red card. We should have got this deal done, you know, a while ago, to say the least. A while ago, to say the least. I'm just going through the live chat again and saving the super chats that I have missed in the last 10 minutes or so. We'll get in there, people. I'm on 30 super chats to go, 31. Hour 36 minutes in. Listen. Yeah, listen. Super chat wise, let's call it a day, people. Please. Let's call it a day. Because look, I'm saving some, and we're on 34 now. 35. 36. 37. Bro, I need to yeah, this can't go over 40 again. That's what I'm saying. This can't go over 40 again. Another one there, 39. Chiesa and Casado. Chiesa. That ain't happening. Yeah, that ain't happening. And if they saw us go for Mudryk all the way to 95 million, then they'll be asking for more for Chiesa. Casado, on the other hand, maybe, but didn't he just sign for them in the summer? I don't know. Where is the next Messi for Arsenal? Sorry, because these super are just short and sweet. I'm thinking to get them in. Big up that Wolves fan there. Always watching the Big Six as well. I think I've got all of the super chats in. Listen, let's call it a day, people. Oh, there's another one here. HKN, my guy. Allow me. I said we can sell you guys Elanga for 30 million last price, bro. Now's not the time for this, bro. You know what it's gonna be like on Big Six on Monday. Let's just hope and pray Arsenal get the W tomorrow. And I say let's. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all the Arsenal fans in here. So my Monday night isn't as bad as it could be after this Mudryk stuff. Cool. Yeah, Matoma, that's a good one. Matoma's a good shout. Cool. Please. No more super chats. I've got 39 to go. So let me go. Where are we? Sadiq said he chose the money. Oh, I read that one. 38. Big up Devin. Turks, a real one. Big up. Midway through January and nothing. Same as last season. Could be our undoing again. Act or die Arsenal. There's no excuse of not trying. Don't get me wrong. We could have bought Mudryk and still finished third, fourth. Doesn't mean we're going to win the league just because we recruit in January. But what it does mean is you're realizing where we are. You're realizing what the manager has brought, and you're building on it. You're maximizing the window. Who says that? The manager. Our manager, Mykhaylo Arteta. Say no more. Devin, hope you're good. Bro, I'm in the gym crying at you grilled. grilling the journals. But say we beat Tottenham and United, do you then care about this, or is this just therapy? I care about this because it's such early days that even beating Tottenham and United doesn't guarantee anything this season. And I saw James say it earlier. James said it on Twitter Spaces. He said if he had a choice, 3 points against Tottenham or Mudryk, is 3 points against Tottenham all day. And I get that, 100%. I get that. But neither are definitive factors to winning a league title or continuing the challenge. You know, just try. Beating Tottenham and United, that's the main thing. Mudryk was never our player. It was just a player we was interested in. I don't really give a shit myself because I don't know much about him. But Mykhaylo does, or seems to at least. And that's what I give a shit about. But, there might be a plan B. So if Mykhaylo, and the club turn around and bring in someone else that is of quality, a well-known name to say the least, then, a win against Tottenham and United plus a signing by the end of the window, cool. We move. But I just fear that this was the one for Mykhaylo, and any other option would be through gritted teeth, to say the least. But yeah, I don't want to swear no more. And I say that because I've sworn already. But these journals, my guy, waste of time. I was wrong on the Kroenke, says Kevy. They are a letdown. Well, we all get there in the end. Big up C. Law. Hope you're good, brother. Big up Turkish. From day one, you've banged on the Kroenke drum. Until they're gone, we'll always be one step behind our rivals off the pitch. Same shit, different year. I agree with that 100%. And that's how I genuinely and honestly feel. I feel like they just don't have that ambition to sustain success, to sustain improvement and development. They just don't seem to have it for me. So yeah, completely agree, my brother. Hope you're well though, man. Hope you're well. The less Arsenal streams I've done, the less I see you in the chat, but I need to start bringing these back for sure. And I will. And I always say I will, but I will. I'm sorry, but how are we getting mad about Arsenal in regards to this? We fans didn't know this kid until he was linked with Arsenal. Chelsea overpaid. Brother. I don't think any Arsenal fan wanted Ben White before we made a bid for Ben White. That's my point. Mykhaylo has done great things with his recruitment in the last 2 years. So I didn't care that I didn't know much about Mudryk. The manager wanted him. Our manager wanted him. That's what I cared about. So I don't know how you can ask why I'm getting mad about Arsenal in regards to this. Because our manager wanted someone, and we failed to deliver. And not only failed to deliver, we've lost out because of 5-10 million. So either way, 85 million euros, 95 million euros, 100 million euros. It's all overpaying for this guy. It's all overpaying. But if it's the man that the manager wants, then sometimes you got to do what you got to do. There's no club in the Big Six that hasn't apart from Tottenham, but Tottenham are lucky to be in the Big Six. So in terms of the 5 of the 6, actually, have Tottenham been bumped like this in the 60 on Richarlison? We're going to find out about that in the next year or so. But yeah, Chelsea have been bumped. United have been bumped. City have been bumped. Liverpool have been bumped. It's happened. It's happened to the best of us. It's happened to the worst of us. It's just something that football is now. Big money. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. No, that's cool. Every year, the story repeats itself. Raise the standards. Yep. Zinchenko told us to raise it. He needs to tell the board to raise it as well, because I'm sure he's not happy either. Weekly update. Hey, boy. What? What's it say? Egg Bali. Imagine I thought that said A boy. I don't even know who this guy is. Is he the Chelsea guy? Went Turkey, done deal, and brought Mudryk back in his jet. You got to rate Bowley and cause ambition with injuries. No saltiness about it. Thoughts? No, I got to rate Bowley. I mean, he spends money, and as a football fan, you want your owner to spend money because football is money, and to bring in the best players or the best young players, you need money. So that's a good thing. But the way he spent his money in the last 6 months, it's been terrible to say the least. To say the least. So, we'll find out in the next year or so how Mudryk does. Felix, 3 games out, back 11th of February, gone back to Atletico in May. So, I haven't changed my mind about the success of their transfer stories yet. Colin says, I think the salary from Chelsea, we could match it. Well, we could 100%, but I don't think it was about salary for Mudryk. I think, like I said, he would have taken half. Issue isn't the price, but why we are waiting 2 weeks to get it done, says Osama. When we could be focusing on others. I have no idea who we're going for now. Well, I hope the club do, but I haven't got an idea. Martin says, surely FFP is non-existent if Chelsea can spend 460 million in 6 months. I thought FFP was relaxed during COVID and the year after COVID. I thought that the whole plan was you take those 2 years and they use it as 1 year because of the impact of COVID. Or was it Tobes that told me the other day on Big Six that it's still, what's the word, relaxed? FFP is still relaxed post-COVID. So I don't know where we're at. FFP. Nonsense. Potential isn't worth 100 million. No one's worth 100 million. Well, I say no one. A handful at best over the years have been worth anything close to 100 and over. But there's been a lot of transfers around that ballpark. And I do look at some of these clubs and I think, you man are ruining the market. Come on. At the same time, it is what it is. Everyone knows the Premier League makes the most money and Premier League clubs have the most money. So all these clubs from, outside of the UK, they're going to try to take the piss. And they've tried taking the piss and it's worked over the years. So I get you, potential isn't worth 100 million. But nor is Jack Grealish. Nor is Anthony. Nor is Kepa. Nor was, I don't know who else to say. Pogba, 90 mil. There's so many examples over the years. Cool. Back in. Edu. Is this your actual name? Expect 0 signings this month. The club is using these journalists to play with our emotions because of Vlahovic. Robbie rating this window 10 out of 10. Oh, bruv. Robbie. I need to see his transfer daily tomorrow. My man's been talking about Mudryk every day for the last 14 days and then bang, it's done. Canadian Guna says, this has been the most disappointed I've been in as an Arsenal fan. Considering the position we're in, time to get Lee out or Kudus or both. Most disappointed I've been as an Arsenal fan. Definitely not the most disappointed I've been. Definitely not. Because we're top of the league. We're top of the league, so it's far from the most disappointed I've been, that is for sure. But it is another chapter of it's another chapter of disappointment in the Kroenke journey. I actually had an inkling that they would change their ways a bit this January, considering what we could achieve and the fact that it would have been achieved on somewhat of a budget compared to other clubs around us. I know we've spent a lot of money over the last 3 years, but nowhere near some of the other clubs around us. So I really thought they might have changed their ways this January because Arteta and the club are in a great position. But so far, 14 days in, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. Raji says, hope Chelsea go bankrupt. Oh, I hope so too. Brandon, at this rate, Chelsea will come and convince Arteta of the project and sign him. I hate that we stall on every damn signing. Just story of the Kroenke's ownership. As a player for Arsenal, how do you look at this situation and think anything other than no ambition? That's a big point you're making there, Brandon. Hence why I asked about what Zinchenko might feel, let alone Saka and company must be questioning things. Let alone them, man. Let alone them, man. Listen, we haven't even renewed their contracts. At least let's do something. Arsenal, give me some good news. We need to go beat Tottenham tomorrow. We need to go beat Tottenham. For God's sake, we need to go beat Tottenham. And he's saying good. Let's not forget they would have done the same to us if not for Rafinha choosing Barca in the end, said Mazzinho. That's true. They was in for him too. Ibby, hope you're good, my guy. He says, I don't blame Edu for this. Can only negotiate so much with a price limit he's given. And that's my thing. You know, I don't think Edu would have been like 5-10 million more. No way. Because once you go up to that fee, what's 5-10 million more? You know, to us, of course, 5-10 million, that's a mad thing. But to them, once you're up to 85 mil, 5-10 million more, it can't be a deal breaker, let's be honest, especially if it's the man you want. So hence why with Edu, there's definitely fault there in maybe delaying negotiations and delaying bids. But then again, even that might have been out of his hands. Maybe the meeting with the Kroenkes was necessary before anything like that could have been done. But even that meeting with the Kroenkes, in the picture that Cecil took with them, wasn't that in December or early December or late November? I can't even remember now. But either way, they had enough time to get these bids, out of the way to really see where Shakhtar were. Honestly, Turkish, I think this and City losing will motivate us even more tomorrow. I can only rewatch that Rosicky 2014 goal so many times. But I was there for that one too, man. What a day. That was in the first 10 minutes, innit? And then it was just a slugfest after, but we just held on for the majority of the game. And Podolski come into the away section. What a day. What a day. Yeah, listen, a win tomorrow, then yeah, I'll do another video so you can see a happier version of Turkish. But to be honest, you haven't even seen this version of me for a while. And even this version of me, I haven't really been shouting and effing and blinding and losing myself. You've seen that before. Just deflated and frustrated. Hiding a bit of the pain. But even I'm looking at my own eyes now and I can see pain behind those eyes. It's all mad. A league title condition as part of a transfer fee. A league title condition as part of the transfer fee showed Edu's naive way of trying to make use of our table position. Negotiators untalented. Again, I might this might be common knowledge, but how do we know what the add-ons and what was used to negotiate? I don't really know. From what I've seen, the Chelsea deal was 70 million up front, 30 million add-ons. From what I remember, ours was pretty much the same. 70 million fee or close to 70 million fee, 25 million in add-ons, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. I don't know with that one. All I know is we haven't got the guy we want. Clay says, Turkish Mike G, as usual, a person of the people. Love, my brother. You know what it is already. Bless up. We've got Emil Smith-Rowe. Yes, he's just getting back in form. I still believe in him. Let's move on. Listen, I like Emil Smith-Rowe, and I really do hope he kind of finds his feet quickly, finds his form back quickly, and hits the ground running and gets some goals off the bench, and he can get some starts under his belt too. But yeah, we'll see on that one. We'll see on that one, my brother. I mean, we can utilize that money elsewhere, maybe in positions that we needed to use that money in more. But I just can't help but feel that Arteta will be deflated by this too. And I don't like that. Alex says, let's not act salty over a player none of us knew existed until recently. I'm only upset if we don't sign players of a similar caliber. We still can. Oh, we still can, Alex. You're right. So we will see. I'm sure it's not the last time I'll be going live in the transfer window. Anytime there's big news, I'll try and make it happen. If not straight away, then like this, maybe a late one. I'll have a 10 p.m. stream. and you guys and girls seem to love it too. So, we'll talk soon, as people like to say. Nemo says, remember, even City didn't want to overpay for Harry Kane. Not the end of the world. Let's see if they have a backup plan. Can get 3 good players for 90 mil. Well, Pep actually said that they offered 100 million for Harry Kane, and Tottenham didn't reply. I think that's what he said. So, bit different, but in my honest opinion, looking at City and that, it was always Haaland for City. I used to say on multiple streams, I just see Haaland going to City and wanting to get revenge for his dad on Man United, and kind of add another chapter to that story. Sam says we have to make the sustainable club Turkish. 100 million is too much for an unproved bro. This is where I need to stretch, because these kind of things can make me angry. Bro, do you know how long I've been hearing self-sustaining and sustainable club and all of this stuff? Bro, I was hearing these kind of things 10, 15 years ago, to the point where this whole model of self-sustainability somehow put us in debt. Ended up with us being a loss-making company. Ended up with our wage bill being so skewed that we could only loan players in January. Unai Emery's words. So I don't know why fans have to kind of be the mouthpiece for some of the nonsense that these lot say. I get self-sustainability, I get it. But there's also balance to it all. Because we've done well in the last 3 years and reset our wage structure doesn't mean you don't take the necessary risks again. You do, but you also learn of the mistakes. You don't let your star players go down in their contracts and don't get any value for them. Sanchez, Ramsey, who else over the years? There's a few more players. You don't have 2 of your stars' contracts coming to the end in the same summer, to the point where you can't offer, big terms to both. So you got to make a decision. So this whole self-sustainability thing, I get it. It's the right model. But at the same time, we can't be using that. We can't be using that. You can't. I trust Edu and Arteta to get it right. This is what I'm saying, though, bro. Arteta wanted my man. And if we bid 95 million euros, or it might be 90 million, I don't know, you lot tell me. Whatever we bid a hell of a lot of money. It's not far off the 100 million that you quote there and say we can't do because of being a self-sustaining club. It's not far off. So if the people you trust, Edu, but mainly Arteta, is sanctioning a deal at that value for the player, then 5-10 million shouldn't be the breaking point for that deal. Especially letting him go to a London rival and potentially a rival for similar honours in the next few years, whether Chelsea improve and we remain a challenger for the Premier League title, or whether we drop off a bit and it's a top 4 battle. Chelsea are going to be in and around the conversation. By the way, I didn't know you had a channel. I'm happy to see it. And he said, calm down. Bro, I'm calm. I'm calm because it's not surprising. But you cannot be telling me self-sustainability and telling me you trust Edu and Arteta when Arteta is the guy that's wanted this player. But we move. Love Sam. I do have a channel. I hope you are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, then make sure you subscribe, people, because I'm sure there's a lot of new faces in the building. Big Six is Monday night. And we are coming for that season sweep next weekend, says HKN. We will drink Arsenal tears. Cheers, my guy. Let me even have a sip of my water. Let's just get past Tottenham first, and I'll worry about you, man, over there. But the Emirates ain't easy. It ain't easy. Oh, yeah. Big up Saeed. Cool. Hope you're good, though, HKN, man. Hope you're good. Cheer up, Turkish. We'll be all right. Yeah, we should be. Mudryk embarrassed himself, to be honest. Shameless. Each to their own. We now need 3 players for that 60 million euros we potentially have. Not free. 20 million players ain't really doing much for us at the moment, unless, there's no one less. 100, them man are top gossipers used as pawns. That one came in during the conversation about the journalists. Let's keep our heads up. Screams panic buy. We can get 3 top quality players for that price. I don't know, because up front wasn't it 70 million up front? So I don't know if you can get 3 quality players for 70 million unless your scouting team is, top notch and you're getting unknown gems. But I think we're at a stage now where you need kind of proven experience. Didn't Arteta say something like this recently? Who said something like this? That the final pieces of the jigsaw, okay, Mudryk is young and an up-and-coming talent, but they will include experienced winners, leaders. And I don't think you can get many of those for a low fee. That's for sure. Jack says, not going to lie, I'm seeing bare negativity in the fan base. We are top, we move, get some good squad players and go again. He wouldn't have started anyway. Martinelli, well, hashtag GM11. There's a balance to it all, because I'm happy with our league position. I'm happy with our season. I'm happy with Mykhaylo Arteta. I just feel like Mykhaylo won't be happy with this. And I'm not sure we'll do what we have to do off the back of this to put us in a not only a good position heading into the last stage of the season, but also seasons ahead. Because this was a young player that would have helped us not only this season, but in future seasons too. So, I wouldn't necessarily call it negativity. But at the same time, I'm not gonna not talk about these owners doing what these owners have been doing, because very few people tend to talk about it. Very few. So yeah, if we're talking about Arsenal on the pitch, finally, I'm happy. You know, I've seen me. I'm a different man when it comes to Arsenal this season. I'm a very different man. But when it comes to Arsenal off the pitch, I've said, if you've been watching my content, I've said January, we'll see again. Summer 2023, we'll see again. January 24, summer 24. These next three windows, this was in December and November and October, I was saying this, will tell a lot in terms of the Kroenkes. It will tell a lot. I don't think I need to be shown a lot from them. I think I'm pretty, I've been pretty bang on about them for the last few years, hoping that they change, hoping that not necessarily prove me wrong, because you can't prove facts wrong. And it's facts that they took over a club that was at the top of, football, well, one of the top clubs in European football, Invincibles, Champions League final, quality, world-class players, to the club we have been recently. That's a fact. But I do hope they've learned and changed their ways. And so far this window, and I've given them credit for last summer, but then I look back at last January and that credit gets erased. So we can do this. We can look at every window in the last 10, 15 years. And really and truly, how many would we have been happy with? Really. And by happy, I mean that window propels us to the title. That window propels us to challenging for that title at the very least. They haven't had any, because even this summer just gone, no one expected to be in a title challenge from that transfer window. We all liked the window. We was happy, it was proactive. We liked the players that came in, but none of us expected this. So Arteta has done wonders. But now we're there. What happens? Rest on your laurels and see what happens? Or do you go in and really, further the cause? It seems like the former at the moment, Jack, I'll be honest. But yeah, hope you and the family are all good. Mudryk was on 1,000 a week, now 200,000. Money talks. Always has. Eddie got the under-21s all-time record, all-time goal scorers record today. Eddie got the under-21s all-time goal scorers award today. Congrats, and many more success for him to come. Strikers Union. Eddie got the under-21s. Have I missed something? Why did he get that today or yesterday? It's past midnight now. Was it just an award that was given to him late or something? I don't know what's going on. Big up Smokey though. He sent in a few super chats. I'm fuming at Chelsea and Shakhtar. What is our next three options? I don't understand what happened. None of us do, my guy. None of us do. Next three options. Your guess is as good as mine. He just started following Felix and Chalobah. This guy's a snake. Let him play for money. I want players playing for Arsenal with their whole heart. Bro. Okay. I'm just going to say okay. Percy says, not going to lie, Turkish, even though I know Mykhaylo wanted Mudryk, I'm relieved in a way because we can get a Casado and Trossard Zaha for 120 million and be better equipped for a tighter challenge of Premier League proven players. Potentially, but maybe that's not what Arteta wanted. And it is all about what Arteta wants at the end of the day, not what I want, not what you want. I can't keep on saying it, you know. It's just deflating. Casado and Zaha, that definitely improves the quality in our side and our squad. Definitely adds competition in good positions. But it's not the guys that the managers seem to want. So, you know, that's where I'm coming from now. Blue Moon in the building. Turkish, I see your pain. We had it last season with Kane. It's the hope that kills you. Mudryk looks cold. Arsenal top tier are just cheap accountants. Yeah, I mean, when I heard Vinay's comments the other day at the Arsenal rap thing, talking about the summer, like, stop talking about the summer. Who cares about the summer? We are in January. The window's open. We're top of the league. And my man's talking about the summer. Blue Moon, I know you. Bro, I know you say you see my pain, but bro, I don't think you see it like, you know. I don't think you see it like that. Because at least you man have been winning stuff over the last few years. This pain is built different, or this frustration is built different. It's all mad. It's all mad. But yeah, listen, my guy, I know Saeed's going to be after you on Monday's show as well. He's already calling for Steve and Huey and saying to Tobes he hopes Tottenham do it. Ali Salmon says, we're top of the league with the chance of going 8 points clear. Plenty of players would love to join. Culture and coaching is what will make us champs. Culture and coaching is definitely a big part of it, 100%. But quality players is also a big part of it. Listen, I'm not going to keep on quoting him, but I'll keep on quoting him for now. Mykhaylo Arteta, January the 7th, 2022, we need to maximize every window. December 2022, we need to maximize every window. That's from him, not from me. That's from him, you know. Don't forget, he also said we need to add quality, the right players. So he's got an idea of who the right players are. Modric might have been the right player for him. Zaha might not be the right player for him. Who knows? Regardless, who knows? Breaking news. ESR, here we go. New January signing. That old chestnut. Yeah, Wenger rinsed that one to shreds. So let me just go up and see if there's any super chats I've missed. I've got 3 more to go. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's always another player. It is what it is. I wouldn't say always. Not with these modern day managers that are so particular with what they want. Sometimes you gotta change shit around when you don't get what you want. And you know, someone said breaking news, Rafinha news. The way I'm feeling right now. Listen, it's 1:15 midnight. I've got to be up early. I've got to get to the Tottenham Stadium tomorrow. I don't really want to see what these journalists do with our links next, you know, because that's all it is. Click, click, click. Click, click, click. I'm tired. 40 super chats for the boys. Hey, Scarfuggery, my guy. What are we going to do, man? What are we going to do? Where are Ali's in the building as well? Let me say that one. I see you, Ali. I see you. Weekly update. I did read your super chat, my guy. That's a late message. Okay, cool. Let me scroll back down to the bottom. I've got 5 super chats to go, and then we're just gonna wrap it up. And you lot are gonna hit the like button, and you lot are gonna subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. You know, we're gonna keep it moving and hope for 3 points tomorrow against Tottenham, and hope for a sweet Big Six. Because if we don't get 3 points tomorrow, I need a replacement for the show. I agree with you. There was never enough evidence that Kroenke had massively changed in their attitude and approach. There wasn't, bro. You know, the only thing they've deserved credit for, not only in recent times, but in all times, giving Arteta time. That's it, in my opinion. Is this last January repeating again? That would be unforgivable. It would be unforgivable, but hey, I've seen the Kroenke's been forgiven for a lot more. So I just hope more people open their eyes. Apparently, Chelsea made a donation to the war effort. I don't know how true that is, if I'm honest with you. I don't know how true that is. And look at their previous ownership as well. So yeah, it's all mad. The only reason to go to Chelsea is money. So I would say we dodged a gold digger. I still trust these guys and know what they're doing. I can't argue this no more anyway. We'll end with Ali's. What's up, Turkish? Nothing much, my bro. Chelsea made us look like a little you. Price tag is a madness, but the way it happened hurts. I can't think of another prospect that's exciting right now. If we're serious, then move big. Yeah, a lot of hype around his name, bro. The way it happened has hurt. It is frustrating. Typical, but frustrating. Not too surprising, but surprising at the same time. It is what it is. Listen, we've just got to keep it moving because we've got a big game tomorrow. And if we couple up what happened today with a loss tomorrow, then yeah, there's not going to be a good feeling in the camp, regardless of us being first. It's going to be quite deflating, to say the least. And with Man United winning, good thing for us in regards to City, but anything other than a win against Tottenham, a draw, a point is a point. But, you know, anything other than a draw or win, don't ask me, are we in a title race and all of that stuff. Just don't. We need another Orlando mid-season, pre-season thing. But yeah, listen, I'm wrapping it up here, man. 2 hours, 12 minutes. I don't think I've ever done a live stream by myself for this long. 2 hours, 12 minutes. Am I going mad? Listen, big up everyone that's tuned in. Big up everyone that's sent comments in. Apologies, to the people that have sent comments, and I've had to focus on the super chats because obviously people are paying for the super chat. So I'm going to focus on them. Big up the people that did send super chats, but equally big up the people that have engaged in the comment section. Hit the like button, people, if you haven't already. I'll be back Monday night for Big Six. You know what it is already. And if you're not subscribed to the official channel, make sure you are, because Big Six Extra should be Tuesday this week, considering there's a game Wednesday United, there's a game Thursday City Tottenham. Extra should be falling on Tuesday, if not Tuesday, Friday. So either one of those nights, Big Six Extra will be on the official channel. But yeah, Big Six Monday. Oh, no, not Friday. Big Six is Friday. So yeah, Big Six Extra has to be Tuesday. So yeah, Big Six Monday, Big Six Friday, Extra Tuesday. You know what it is, people. Hit the like button. Join me on those streams. Make sure you subscribe. Put the notification bell on. And love for the love, people. Mudryk, deal to Chelsea agreed. On to the next one. North London derby tomorrow. Love for the love. Peace. I'm out.